Call the meeting to order. We're going to carry the salute to the flag in the moment of silence till we return to public session. May we have the sunshine notice, please?
Requirements of the New Jersey Public Meetings Law have been satisfied by noticing the Asbury Park Press and the Two River Times on January 3rd, 2026, stating that a regular meeting of the Colts Neck Township Committee will be held on February 11, 2026, 7 p.m., Town Hall, 1 Veterans Way. Copy is on file in the office of the Township Clerk. Further, notice was provided to the Asbury Park Press and the Two River Times on February 3rd, 2026, noting the meeting time change from 7 p.m. to 6 p.m.
May I have a roll call, please?
Committeeman Tabia.
Yes.
Committeewoman Buss.
Yes.
Committeeman Rizzuto.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Bezzetta.
Here.
Mayor Viola.
Here. Resolution 2026-45, executive session. Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-12B, permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances. And whereas the Colts Neck Township Committee finds that such circumstances presently exist, now therefore be it resolved by the Colts Neck Township Committee as follows. 1, the public shall be excluded from discussion of any action upon hereinafter specified subject matter. 2, the general nature of the subject matter to be discussed is as follows. A, potential litigation confidential pursuant to NJSA 10:4-12B7. And B, personnel confidential pursuant to NJSA 10:4-B-8. -12B8. Third, the committee will not take action during closed executive session. It is anticipated that the closed session will last approximately 60 minutes. It is anticipated at this time that the above subject matter will be made public when the need for confidentiality no longer exists, and this resolution shall become effective immediately. Are there any comments?
No,
May I
and
have a
happy to
motion?
move that.
Second, please.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We will try to be back by 7 p.m.
Well, that's. Wow. There's a little couple of them. That's the executive section. Yes, it's. That's what this is. Oh, that's right. This is the one. It's another- it's another- If you're- That's the resolution. One of these, one of these?
Just one.
Just one of these, sir?
Good, thank you.
Well, we got a lot of files there. I don't feel as important. If size matters, I'm in trouble, so like, I never know what we have.
Never know what we have coming up.
Oh.
My father's an asshole. He was a good man. He seems like he went that little far. He just wanted to ride the airport. I drove. So and I said, all right. Yeah, sure. Yeah, but oh, okay. You're not, I mean, you're not saying that. And they're building. So I'm standing there. I'm holding this dog. This dog, I'm nervous. I'm nervous. We don't start on look good on camera. Can you stand your face around? I don't care. I gathered that. I don't care. You are
Thank you.
God bless America. And God bless Colts.
Item number 7, meeting minutes, January 28th, 2026, executive session and regular meeting. Are there any changes? May I have a motion?
Move.
Second.
Roll call.
Committeeman Tobia.
Yes.
Committeewoman Boss. Committeeman Rizzuto.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Bezzetta.
Yes.
Mayor Viola.
Yes. Item number 8, new business. We are going to carry the first reading introduction of ordinance 2026-01 to the February 25th meeting. Item number 2, B is resolution 2026-46, authorization to urge the legislature to defeat S5028 A6301, which will reduce the minimum required annual thoroughbred racing at Monmouth Park. This affects the next budget cycle. It is currently in the Assembly, Tourism, Gaming, and Arts Committee. Margie Donlin, one of our Assembly people from Legislative District 11, is on that committee. I urge all of the public to reach out to the Assembly and profess your concern for this legislation. We have roughly 100 stables, farms, and equestrian locations in our township. It's a large industry in our town, and this can have a very damning effect, not only on the owners, but those who board there, the veterinarians, laborers, et cetera. It's a large industry for Colts Neck. So we are going to look at an resolution authorizing and urging the legislature to defeat this. Are there any comments from committee? May I have a motion?
Second.
Roll call.
Committeeman Tobia.
Yes.
Committeewoman Buss.
Yes.
Committeeman Rizzuto.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Bezzetta.
Yes.
Mayor Viola.
Yes. Consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda are considered routine by the township and are adopted or approved collectively by a single motion. Roll call vote of a majority of the township committee. If discussion is desired on any item, it is considered separately. Are there any comments?
Just one, Mr. Mayor. On item B on maintenance, lawn and field maintenance services, I would like the administrator to look into with our Public Works Department about adding the Montrose School to the fertilizer and seeding and chemical program so that the area looks as good as the rest of the township properties. Thank you.
Any other comments?
Just want to thank Cheryl House for her many, many years of dedicated service to the town. We're unhappily accepting her resignation and wish her best in the future.
I echo those comments. She's had a long, productive relationship and working here in the township as a resident as well. Wish her the best in her retirement. Resolution 2026-47 through 2026-51. May I have a motion?
Moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Committeeman Trivia. Committeeman Rizzuto.
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Bezzetta.
Yes.
Mayor Viola.
Yes. Approval of vouchers. Finance Chair Deputy Mayor Bezzetta.
Thank you, Mayor. I went through the vouchers. The top line number is a very healthy number, $5,542,579.47. 92.3% of that total are taxes paid to the county, almost $2 million. Library tax, $125,000 approximately, and open space tax of $295,000. And in addition to that, there's a payment to the Colts Neck Board of Education for $1,758,758 and Freehold Regional High School for $1,131,548. So the total of the taxes and the school aid tax is $5,112,731.44, which again is 92.3% of that top line number. Just to give an idea of where the balance of the bills are for this month, road improvements and engineering, $11,539.25. Police department vehicles, $4,337.49. Repairs to vehicles for the fire department, $16,882.89. General liability insurance, $86,027. Workers' comp, $63,103. Cable, electric, telephone technology to power all of the township buildings, $16,314.29. And then we had three bills related to the storms. One was for the purchase of salt from the county, $23,534.45. One and two vouchers for the contractor, Slopebrook Farms. One was $31,020 and the other was $83,325. So that gives you a sense of where our tax dollars are going. And of course, the bills, the information is all provided as part of the meeting notice, so anyone could look at those bills and ask any questions. With that, Mr. Mayor, I move the amount of $5,542,579.47 for payment.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Yes.
Committeewoman Bus.
Yes, with the exception of any bills related to the municipal court.
Thank you. Committeeman Rizzuto.
Yes, with the exception of the fire department.
Very good. Deputy Mayor Bezzetta
Yes, with the exception of the fire department.
and Mayor Viola.
Yes, with my usual exceptions, Jolene Landscaping, Bucks Mill, Bucks Tree Service, and Best Horticultural.
Thank you, sir.
Item number F, Township Committee reports. Committeeman Tabia.
Thank you, Mayor. Just one on the Sports Foundation. They are formulating their maintenance plans and requests for the budget. The one thing they asked for is an update on the bathroom project at 5 Points, and also would like to have further discussion on the field improvements at Laird. Thank you.
Thank you, Committeeman. Committeewoman Bus.
As people can see in the back, I brought some handouts. Thank you, Michelle Batista, for sending me those over for our book sale. Our book sale is May 2nd and May 3rd. As everybody knows, I'm tremendously looking forward to that. And you can donate books. And I see several people here smiling who are used to coming to my meetings when I give the lecture on if you wouldn't bring it to bed with you, you won't donate that. Okay, so nobody wants to take home your nasty book. Okay, so thank you for running that as always, Friends of the Library. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Committeewoman. Committeeman Rizzuto.
Yes, historic preservation. Luckily, I have Michelle in the audience reminding me of everything I've forgotten. Third grade visit with Conover School is a program we do where we bring them into the one-room schoolhouse. We're still hammering out a date for that, but that's always a popular one with the kids. And I see we have people from the Board of Education. Thank you for making that happen. I appreciate that. They really get a kick out of it. Weekend at Old Monmouth is coming up May 2nd and 3rd. That's the Montrose Schoolhouse is once again open, and it's part of a larger tour you could take around Monmouth County to many historic sites. A lot of people use it as like a, check it off their list, see if they can get to every site over the weekend. So that's always a fun one. And February 22nd coming up, we have dinner with George Washington and a bunch of historic people at the Colts Neck Inn, which was the first town hall for Colts Neck, and it's still standing. I think tickets are still available. It's going to be a fun time. There's going to be costume, reenactors, and period music, and Laird's things from Laird's. So it'll be a good time. So check that out. That's part of the Monmouth County, the larger 250th program. Moving on to the police department. Chief DeVito has a few announcements he'd like me to share with everyone. Last month, the traffic unit was at Cedar Drive Middle School conducting the e-bike safety presentation. As we talked about last week, a lot of new legislation came out. And so that's part of a cooperation. Again, thank you for the school boards here. For the schools, I know the chief and the fire department are very big on doing these public safety initiatives in the schools. A lot of new rules, so the more we can get that out, the better. March 12th, the police department has their final accreditation in South Brunswick, actually where I work. I guess Chief Fiduka is presiding over that. So that's a big thing. Chief Santucci started that program, and Chief DeVito has really carried that torch forward with another big accreditation for the Colts Neck Police Department. So I'd like to officially say well done to the whole team, and I'm sure he'll come in and give a presentation when he gets his star. Our lead team, that stands for Law Enforcement Against Drugs officers, have been in the schools and instructing their program. If those of you who are old like me remember the old DARE program, from back in the day. So they're out there doing that. And again, he'd like me to remind you, anyone who needs a car seat installed, inspected, please reach out to the traffic safety unit. Make an appointment to come down and see the guys, and they will install your traffic seat for you. I met with First Aid this week with the president and the captain, talking about mutual aid. Talk about facilities. We talked about the bays. We talked about the cabinets. We talked about the basement. So they're doing well over there. And OEM, I talked to Director Badaracco today, and really just progress in OEM. A little after action, talking about the storm, but really it wasn't, as the administrator had said in her report right after the storm, it really wasn't an OEM heavy kind of an event, fortunately. But we were ready for it if it was. So that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Committeeman. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Quick update on affordable housing. We still do not have a decision from the round 4 mediation program. The decision was due December 31. It's been delayed. I understand a number of towns are still waiting on a decision. When we receive it, we will post it on the township website. Secondly, as I've reported at these meetings, we know that there is a lawsuit that was commenced, spearheaded really by Mayor Gasali from Montvale. The federal lawsuit was dismissed at the district court level. It was dismissed at the Third Circuit Court of Appeals level. The coalition of 29 towns has sought an emergency stay from the United States Supreme Court. They filed that petition on February 4th. Justice Alito, who is the Supreme Court justice who hears emergency applications for our region, has directed the state attorney general to respond by February 17, next Tuesday. And then presumably the Supreme Court will decide the issue of whether or not to issue a stay of a March 15 date, whereby the state is mandating that towns have to rezone properties for affordable housing. So more to follow on that. Board of Education had a meeting on February 4th. I see that we have the president of the Board of Ed as well as liaison Kevin Walsh here with us. There was a discussion at the meeting about capacity in the school system in the K through 8 schools. Rough numbers, current student capacity is about 1,000 students in K through 8. The max capacity for the district is about 1,400 students. The primary school, however, is at capacity. And the school with the most number of seats available is the Cedar Drive Middle School. So there was a discussion about that. There was also a discussion about negotiations that occurred between the Board of Ed and the Sports Foundation for use of facilities, use of school facilities by Sports Foundation. Apparently, an agreement was reached that the Board of Education is very pleased with. No details were shared at the meeting, but that agreement is in principle and a contract will be signed soon. There was also mention of the red light cameras on school buses. I commend the Board of Education for being proactive and taking that initiative to protect our children. There have been a number of violations of the red arm on buses, and 8 citations have been issued by our police department. So I commend the police department and Board of Education for working proactively on that. Again, I remind everyone that the meetings for the Board of Ed are live streamed. So if anyone has any questions, they could watch it on YouTube. And lastly, Mr. Mayor, I'm sure you would cover this, but I'll cover it under finance. We have a budget workshop next Wednesday, the 18th at 4:30 p.m. in this room. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. I'll take that off my list. I will add that the governing body will be in casual attire, just so you know that now. We won't be sporting ties next Wednesday. My report will be brief, then I'll ask the administrator to do her report. I went out of order. I apologize for that. Recreation Seniors Luncheon last week had 103 members attend. I think that's the largest luncheon we've had, second to the holiday luncheon in December. And to echo what Committeeman Rizzuto had said about the 250th, it kicks off next Sunday with George Washington's birthday at the Colts Neck Inn. Tickets at coltsneckbusiness.org if you have interest. And then my last comment regarding Naval Weapons Station Earls. Last week, I was invited to Washington by Congressman Smith to sit with himself and the Assistant Secretary of the Navy to talk about the encroachment issues that these developments pose on the base. We had a very long, detailed meeting, and we do expect some input from the Navy, hopefully by the end of the month or the early part of March. That's all I have there. So that's all that I have. I'm going to ask the administrator to update the public on your report.
I have no report this evening.
See, I knew
See?
that.
I thought you were telepathic.
Counselor, you have a comment before we open the public?
Yes, I do. It's come to my attention that minutes of the executive session held on February 24, 2006 were inadvertent. Can you not hear me? Can you hear me now? Okay, good. It's come to my attention that minutes of the executive session held on February 4, 2026 were inadvertently disseminated to residents who have opted to have same email to them. The township has not released the minutes on the township website and maintains that these materials are confidential. Disclosure was inadvertent, and discussion of the matter will not be entertained by the township until such time as the executive privilege no longer exists. So basically, these minutes were sent out by mistake. We're still holding the executive privilege. So if you did receive those minutes, and you come up and ask about them, we will not be discussing them because the executive privilege remains. Okay?
Thank you, Counselor. Comments from the public. Procedure for public comment. The Colts Neck Township Committee welcomes comments from the members of the public. Please raise your hand if interested in being heard. Once recognized, identify yourself by clearly stating your name and address for the record. Your comments will be limited to 4 minutes. Once you have finished speaking, your 4 minutes have expired, the Township Committee will respond accordingly. May I have a motion to open the public comment?
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ms. Volpe?
Good evening, everybody. Oh, right on the top where your fingers are, there should be a button there. If you just press down on it, closer towards the front of the.
Yep.
Nope, the other way.
No, I think you got it.
I think you got it.
Oh, it was mine.
You got that.
I think.
Okay, I think there it is. All right, thank you. All right, my name is Angelique Volpe. I'm the president of the Colts Neck Township Board of Education. I came here tonight to just go over just a couple of things. A few months ago, our buildings and grounds, and this is basically echoing Mr. Bruzetta's comments, our buildings and grounds chair, Kevin Walsh, who's with me tonight, with the assistance of Brian Scarpa, spearheaded that initiative to install those bus stop arm cameras on our entire school bus fleet. These cameras have significantly enhanced the safety and security of our children. Since their installation, we have received numerous complaints that led to enforcement action. And like Mr. Brusetta said, 8 violators have already been identified. This initiative has clearly made a difference in protecting our students. Several months ago, I reached out to Mayor Buss regarding the costs associated with these cameras. I had sent you an email, and I know how busy you are as mayor. I'm assuming that it was overlooked, or maybe you didn't receive it. But I requested that the Colts Neck Township Committee consider allocating a percentage of the revenue collected from the violations back to the school district. My understanding is that the township receives a portion of the violation revenue, with the remainder going to the state. That's how it was explained to me. I apologize if that's correct information, but I would like to respectfully ask this committee to verify whether that is correct. And if so, I formally would like to request that a portion of those proceeds be returned to our district so we can reinvest directly into the safety and security of our children. That's the first topic. Secondly, I had reached out via email to Mayor Viola regarding the liaison position to the affordable housing. I know I had appointed Mr. Walsh along with Mr. Scales to represent our district in those meetings, and it's imperative that we remain included in those discussions. So I'm not sure going forward how that's going to work. I know you advised me to speak to Mr. Bruzetta directly regarding those, but I would like to request that the liaisons that I appointed last year remain on any committee going forward, since the school district is going to be highly impacted by the affordable housing. We all know that we're facing a huge challenge for our students, the staff, and our administrators, along with the Board of Ed. So I'm respectfully asking that those 2 liaisons remain in those roles. I also want to recognize Mr. Walsh. I have appointed him as the Township Liaison Committee. He will be attending meetings as much as he can, but I think he'll be attending virtually since it will be a conflict with his work schedule, but he will be reporting out. And if there's anything he could do to keep our communication open and positive, he's willing to do that. I also want to echo Mr. Rizzuto's comments regarding our police department.
You good?
Good.
Looks good.
Okay, good evening. For those who don't know that I'm a retired firefighter captain from Bayonne, New Jersey. I served 31 years before I retired. I retired as a rank of captain. I spent 15 years on a truck company, and I also served as captain company and engine number 3 in Bayonne, which is the busiest company in the city. We were handling over 2,000 calls a year, and that calls for service, as well as we're doing medical response as well. That background gave me a well-rounded experience in suppression, search, ventilation, rescue, and emergency response. I also served 8 years as a volunteer here in Colts Neck at Fire Company 2. So public safety, training, and teamwork have been the focus of my entire adult life. For those who don't know, Bayonne is a high-density city with many lightweight buildings being constructed in the last 15 years. A major focus of our department was developing protocols and trainings for fires in those buildings where fire behavior and collapse risk differ significantly from the older legacy construction buildings that we had in the past. About 2 months ago, before all this is about what I'm about to talk about happened, I was in contact with members of both fire companies looking to formulate SOP and guidelines to deal with the new affordable housing going up here on 537, because at an EFC meeting, Executive Fire Council meeting, a few months prior to that, I posed the question, was any plan in place? And there wasn't. So I got the wheels spinning. I'm like, let me just start to grab some people. Let me start to do my homework and put an SOP, a protocol together. So the men and women of this fire company have an idea what they're dealing with, because at this point, nobody in this municipality has any experience dealing with those type of structures over there. So it'll be safety for firefighters and safety for the community. I'm speaking tonight because the Township Committee always emphasizes the importance of volunteerism, community involvement, and I took that message seriously. After I retired still, I always wanted to give back, not for a paycheck and not for recognition, but because the service is always what I've done. I made a decision to leave Fire Company number 2 and go to Fire Company number 1 based on 2 reasons. Number 1, I moved within the past 2 years closer to Firehouse Company number 1. And secondly, based on my professional background, I felt it was important for me to operate in an environment where the firematic chain of command, operational decision-making, and training remained clearly within the fire service structure of the firehouse, not the administrative part of the firehouse. So I voiced that opinion to Firehouse number 2, and it fell on deaf ears. So for me, and for my safety, and from a professional standpoint, I felt it best to leave that firehouse and go to a firehouse where I can contribute comfortably. So I applied for membership at Firehouse Company number 1, hopefully to contribute my experience, training, and time to the community. A few days ago, I received this letter from them, and I'll read. It's dated February 4th. It says, "Dear Scott, on February 3rd, 2026, at their regularly scheduled business meeting, Colts Neck Fire Company number 1 discussed your application for membership. When the discussion was complete, the company voted to disapprove your application. The company appreciates you taking the time to apply and wishes you the best in the future. Thank you, Thomas B. Savage, President, Colts Neck Fire Company number 1.
Sir, you're over your 4 minutes,
Okay,
but you can give us whatever you want to give us.
I'll keep it.
Okay. If I did that, I'd have to do it to everyone. I'm sorry. I actually went over 30 seconds.
Please
Thank you.
maintain,
Someone's gonna-
please
No,
maintain
she didn't.
decorum. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Okay, the rest of this is thank you.
Can you just hold on
Oh,
1
I'm
second?
sorry, Justine
Sir,
Gazette.
sir in the back, did you just say I was a joke?
No, that was a joke. What just happened was a joke.
Okay, we can't have this discord, and I'm trying to
You
keep,
asked me a question.
trying to keep decorum.
I kept my mouth shut until you asked me a question.
Well, you said something was a joke.
I said that.
Thank you, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I respect that organizations have processes and votes, but I believe it is fair to ask a broader that affects more than just me. What message does it send when a township that promotes volunteerism declines someone with nearly 4 decades of fire service including prior volunteer service here in Colts Neck, who wants to continue serving and share experience that could support the firefighter and community safety. This is also happening during a time when volunteer firefighter numbers are declining nationwide. Many communities are struggling to staff their departments and are being forced to move toward paid or hybrid paid staffing models to maintain response coverage, changes that can significantly impact municipal budgets. Even nearby communities have had to adjust. Princeton, for example, moved from a historically all-volunteer department to a combination system with paid firefighters to ensure coverage. When experienced volunteers are unable to serve, communities risk losing both operational depth and long-term cost stability. I'm not here to criticize individuals or create conflict. I'm here because transparency and consistency with the town's message about volunteer service matters. Residents should understand how volunteerism works in practice when someone with a lifetime of service offers to help. I remain willing to serve this community in any constructive way I can. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Bezzetta. Mr. Dupree, thank you for your service. Thank you for your desire to continue to serve. Not much more I mean, it's,
Megan, just a point of
I have a comment, Mr. Mayor. If you can, Ms. Buss, you're the liaison to the fire department. I think Mr. Dupree brings up very important issues on why an application was denied. Somebody looking to volunteer in this township, which has a struggling volunteer base, which has, thank God that we have Earl Navy Base as our first due in most cases. And with the Kushner-Lavana development, that is going to be a major, major problem for this town firematically and emergency service-wise. I think we need to have a dive deeper into this situation. Maybe there was a misunderstanding, but I do believe with Mr. Dupree's background and some of the other issues that are facing this township firematically, even along with the potential purchase of a new aerial truck, I think there needs to be more information. As a former fireman and line officer, and also in charge of the fire academy at Monmouth County, I think that we need to dive deeper into this so that there are concerns that there's not potential volunteers being turned around away from the fire companies. Ms. Buss, I would appreciate at the next meeting if you'd give us a report on that.
Absolutely. I'm happy to. As liaison to EFC, we have spoken of this. Mr. Dupree, thank you so much for your service, not just to Bayonne, but to Colts Neck as well. And I'm happy to follow up.
Thank you.
And I'd like to add a comment echoing what Committeeman Tabia said. I've been on fire calls with Scott Dupree. There were 3 structure fires where Scott was taking the lead on those fires. 2 structures, one in Colts Neck, one in Marlborough, that we responded to as a mutual aid, were saved because of the efforts of Scott Dupree.
Of things that we just don't see because of the town. It's plain and simple. He's an asset. He is an asset that should be used. He has working capital equity. He has the whole thing. He's a good guy. He taught me a lot. He saved me a lot. He was a good guy, and he was what the brotherhood's about, honestly. And he really would be a great asset to this town. And with the affordable bit, and it's going to be there or whatever, and there's no blame or anything like that. We have to deal with it now. We have the cards on the table. This is what we're dealt. He's the Encyclopedia Britannica. Just write him. All right, what do we do here? I know this construction. I know that construction. And he would be a really great asset in any way, shape, or form on this. Thank you.
thank you, Mr. Ryan. Mrs. Mann?
Elaine Mann, 587 Route 34 in Colts Neck. First of all, I would like to thank Kathleen Capristo for taking the time to email me.
Elaine, can't hear you. Put the microphone down, please. Thank you.
Okay?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. I would like to thank Ms. Capristo for taking the time to email me in more details about the 2 questions I posed at the meeting. I understand that you may not be capable of having all the answers at your fingertips at all times. It clarified what I was asking, and thank you very much. It was kind of you. After listening to Mr. Dupree's statement and his request to join Fire Company Number 1 and was denied, circumstances in people's lives which they need to address, his resignation from Fire Company Number 2 for personal reasons should be by not being able to perform his duties. He resigned so that they knew. Now Mr. Dupree's circumstances has changed and he is in a better position. He lives closer to Firehouse Number 1. As you heard his background, is there a precedent in the firehouse where you cannot go from one firehouse to another? What sort of justification can you explain to why this resident of Colts Neck was turned down as a qualified volunteer? Does he have a criminal record, etc.? I doubt it. Is our volunteer fire departments just a clique run by a few narrow-minded individuals? Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Mayor. Any other interest in speaking? Come on up, Michael.
Hello, Mihal Kalish, 4 Ann Street. When Dan Bozzetta was reading the financial statements, we had about $110,000 go to Slowbrook Farm for snow removal. I know that at the last meeting, there was discussion about how the temperatures are going to get cold. There was a lack of salt that ended up getting figured out. And ultimately, the county came in and got us the resources we needed. But on several streets, including Conover, which is partial county owned, and then Hires Mill, Slowbrook Farm didn't really do a great job of actually moving the snow off of the roadway. In many portions, it looked like the snowplows or tractors kind of just like piled it into corners, especially by the intersections. Many times you were almost going head on into other cars, especially at that fork at Hires Mill and Conover, just to get in and out. If Slowbrook can at least get the public's comments of like, hey, just take a little extra care, especially because of the frigid temperatures. Everything's like a wall of ice, so it is very dangerous to, especially if you hit that, you're going to damage your car. So if Slowbrook could just get the comment of just take a little extra care and have your employees, really try and get the snow off the roadways. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. O'Brien.
Kevin O'Brien, 18 The Enclosure. Responding to my editorial in Patch on February 3rd, Deputy Mayor Bozzetta wrote on Facebook, a resident posted information masquerading as opinion. I was that resident. The referenced 5.66 million cash balance is noted on page 12 of the 2024 audit. That sum is fact, not opinion. Member Bozzetta wrote the park bathroom bids came in at 1 million to 1.5 million. The bid sheets show pricing of 1.783 million and 1.897 million. 2 of the 4 bids exceeded the price limit Mr. Bozzetta posted. Again, fact, not opinion. We were told the building issues were in litigation. Then it was mediation. The contract per Article 6.1 notes the architect will be the initial decision maker. Are we in the initial decision or are we beyond that? On veteran housing, Mr. Bozzetta said, we've been in discussions with all the appropriate parties, including Soldier On. Soldier On CEO and Kelly, the executive vice president, confirmed to me they have not heard from anyone at Colts Neck. This reminds me of the children's story of Pinocchio and his growing nose. Mayor Viola stated the 5 Points bathroom was needed as the $29,438,000 price for Porta-John service was too expensive. With the average price of $1,100,000 grant, the committee may saddle residents with a $1.3 million capital expense, plus the operating expenses for heating, cooling, maintenance, and cable service. We told there's a smaller building, but I haven't seen any revised plans, and I've done an Oprah request. Let's not forget The $539,272 is the price for the proposed children's play equipment for 5 Points. The $522,335 engineering price came from a sworn statement from the town engineer. The grant request, which is also here, shows a price 47% higher with no justification. The grant request is $750,000 less than the average price from the 4 contractors. Again, public record. In Mason versus City of Hoboken 2008, the court determined the purpose of Oprah is to maximize public knowledge about public affairs in order to ensure an informed citizenry and to minimize the evils of an inherent process, secluded process. A secluded process was Mayor Viola refusing to disclose the public record, the court order on affordable housing in December 2024. Secluded process was including private meetings of the Affordable Housing Subcommittee with people invited into the inner circle only by Mayor Viola. Secluded process was failing to disclose a letter from Green Acres denying a grant application for hundreds of thousands of dollars because an encroachment into open space was not resolved for years. Fact. Oprah was designed to shine a light on the dark side of government. New Jersey has a strong public policy favoring open and transparent government, and I will continue to secure public records.
Thank you, Mr. O'Brien. Regarding the building mediation versus litigation, that was a mistake in use of the term moving committee. We're in, so just so the public understands, litigation was used, it should have been mediation. It might go that direction, but it's in mediation. Secondly, the porta potties at 5 Point were shared with Sports Foundation. They paid 50%, we paid 50%. We do a lot of joint projects with Sports Foundation. For folks that don't know, if you've not had kids go through the program, Sports Foundation is a separate 501c3, I believe it is. It's not a component of the township, it's a separate foundation. But they do raise a lot of money and put a lot of that money back into our recreational assets. We do that in coordination during the budget process with the governing body. Regarding the Planning Board Affordable Housing, that's not a mayor's determination. That's the Planning Board chairman who sets that committee. So that wasn't me who invited anyone or did anything regarding the Affordable Housing Subcommittee. That is strictly under the auspices of the chairman. Anybody have anything else to add?
I'll just add, with respect to the bathroom at 5 Points, we've talked about this so many times. I'll repeat it again. Initial estimates was that the bathroom was going to cost somewhere around $700,000, I believe. When estimates came in much higher, we scrapped the project. We now have in plans to build a more modest bathroom at 5 Points. We hope.
We don't have plans yet.
We don't.
We're planning.
Do not have any plans yet. You can Oprah plans that don't exist. It'll come back blank. There's no plans yet.
Our expectation. And when we do, we'll disclose it and share it with the public.
Mayor,
Committeeman?
since been sitting on this township committee and a little bit before, the issue of the bathrooms at 5 Points has come up numerous times at various meetings. And again, we hear different amounts for bids, different configurations of the bathrooms, different issues as far as amounts to grants available, grants being turned back. At this time, I'm going to request from the administrator, in her time permits, a full report from the start of the bathroom project to where we are today, and listing every single item on there as far as when it was bid, the architect, what the estimates were, in a clear, concise report. And if you've already done that, that's great, but I don't have the privy of having that in writing so that I can understand it and decipher it on where we actually are and what those plans are moving forward. So I would appreciate that as time permits.
Thank you, Committeeman. Any other comments from the public? Mr. LaTrenta.
Thank you. I have my stopwatch.
I'm happy for that.
Good evening, Township Committee and Mayor.
Name and address, please.
Oh, Doug LaTrenta, 11 Downing Hill.
Thank you.
Okay, good evening. Happy New Year. Dan, that was very good comments about that gentleman. That was very nice of you. Thank you. Mayor, at the reorganization meeting, I was both encouraged and disappointed. In your stunningly brief acceptance of the gavel, you advised the community that Colts is facing tough issues. Assume since you quoted Thomas Paine, these are the times that try men's souls. You're a history buff. I am also. And I bet you a lot of people out in Colts Neck are. So I was explaining the thorny issues we face and his game plan towards solutions. What preceded was silence. You spent 90 seconds. You never, ever gave us any of your insights, sir, at the reorg meeting. My first comment, we got to stop these anonymous social posts from fictitious Colts Neck citizens. The derogatory name calling, it's just low rent. Colts Neck deserves better. I hope each of you will state tonight that no one will ever respond to an anonymous post, social post. That's just, it shouldn't happen. My second comment, everybody here approved the Roberts rule. If no one knows what the Roberts rule is, and you all know it, we could ask 1,000 questions, you never have to answer us. It's only your discretion to answer us. So you know what? Don't ask questions, everyone, just give comments. My third comment, as we know, over the last 5 years, our taxes, and I got my tax bills, have gone up 60%. This dollar bucket, municipal taxes, has gone up 60%. The schools, both regional and district, the municipality, 18%. Why are theirs 2.4% and we're almost 12%? Mayor, you were leading that charge, and I heard a rumor now that you're all of a sudden got hit by lightning, and we have a tax savings forthcoming.
The tax what? I'm sorry?
A tax savings forthcoming. Oh, I'm doing well. We're facing numerous legal bills. And when Dan states, yes, the township is spending a lot of our tax money on legal fees to prevent overdevelopment, yes, we're facing that, and that's obvious. But we have spent $1 million. You appropriated $300,000 for legal bills, but we're spending $450, heading towards $5. And my guess, and I'll bet the ranch, we're going to be over $5. What do we have for our $1 million? The monstrosity. Mayor, last but not least, we're going to go back to history. In conclusion, facing the Hessians, okay, at the Battle of Trenton. We're not there, okay? We're not there. We have some problems, but we'll get through our problems. But Mr. Thomas Paine had two other famous quotes. And one of them is a bit tough. The second one is eye-opening. 1776, he who dares not offend cannot be honest. This one I love. Silence becomes a kind of a crime when it operates, or an encouragement to the guilty. Thomas Paine was a wise man. I hope and pray all 5 of you, okay, do a great job for us this year. Thank you.
Thank you. Regarding your comments in social media, you've made similar comments in the past last year when there was the Mickey Mouse stuff going on in the spring. I would not in any way, shape, or form try to dissuade anyone from saying anything. Just like you have your First Amendment right to come up here and say whatever it is you want to talk about, the 7 rings around Saturn or the 28 moons around Uranus. You can talk about that. I would not do anything in any way, shape, or form to usurp anyone's First Amendment rights on social media. Plain and simple. Somebody wants to put something on there, it's their right. Secondly is legal fees. We haven't budgeted yet, so we don't know what those are. That was a historical figure. Let's see how the budget process works. We do have the budget workshop next week where if you attend either in person or online, you'll hear the presentations and the asks from the department heads that are fed into the hopper. We then digest all of that and we'll introduce the budget at the end of March. So there's a 4 or 5 week period of time where we're still working on the budget. But yes, we are working very hard. The administrator has been working very hard on putting the budget together and giving us the input that we need so that we can make the best decisions for the township. Yes, we are going to look with it's going to be not a shoestring, but it's going to be a very, very tight budget. We are very, very rigid. So please stay tuned. Anyone have anything else?
Mr. Latrenta, you asked me directly. As far as I can guarantee you, those of you who know me, I will not be answering any social media posts that do not have names, or matter of fact, if you know me very well enough, I will call you and discuss it directly.
Mayor, can I respond?
You have 30 seconds.
I have 30 seconds?
You do.
Thank you.
Please come up.
Can I say it from here?
No.
Please come up.
Okay. I didn't state I wanted to stop people's freedom of speech. What I said was I would like all 5 of you not to respond to fictitious Colts Neck citizens. They're made up. They don't breathe. They don't speak. They're made up bots. If you know what a bot is, that's what they are. They're not real people. So all I'm asking you is not to respond to those types of posts. I never said stop. You're giving me the freedom. That's it.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to be heard?
Yeah, let me just comment on that, if I might, Mr. Mayor. Mr. LaTrent, I agree with you. I think that anonymous texts that are sent out, I think anonymous posts or pseudonym posts are beneath Colts Neck. It's an embarrassment to our town. I have had mayors, committee people, and residents of other towns call me to ask me what is going on with Colts Neck. It's embarrassing. It's beneath the dignity of this town. Whoever's sending those anonymous texts, and I think I know who it is, by the way, it's silly. Stop it. Mr. LaTrent, this past summer, you accused me of sending out emails under a pseudonym. I challenged you to bring evidence forth. You never did. So I'd like an apology from you for the accusation you made against me. As I told you, and I'll stand by it, I never sent out emails under a pseudonym. So we'll have this. We could talk afterwards. Love to speak to you.
Mr. LaTrenta, please. Thank you. Is there anyone else from the public wishing to be heard? Mrs. Krasinkas.
Hi, good evening. Elaine Krasankis, 126 Montrose Road. Thank you for remembering me. I'm touched. Unfortunately, my husband couldn't be here tonight. He's not feeling well. But I reiterate or revisit the question about speeding and the speed limits on Montrose Road and see if there are any updates on that. Just as an aside, anecdotally, almost was run over on my way out to my mailbox yesterday. There was also an accident down the street on Dutch Lane and Boundary and Cedar, which is predictable because of the speeding that's occurring in the area. So I just want to follow up and see if there's been any updates on that at this time, please. And secondly, would like to also thank Scott. He is a neighbor of mine, and I don't want to see him get hit by a car as he's running out there, as he's training to keep himself in shape. Thank you, Scott, for your service. He did move recently. I know that's correct because one of my daughters was friends with his daughter, so I know where he used to live. I know where he lives now. And the location is definitely more optimal for him to be at the, Fire Department 1. Thank you.
Thank you.
I can speak to that. Thank you. Thank you for that. And yes, we did listen last time. I will get you a monthly breakdown if you'd like just Montrose. That's possible. No, I can get, I don't think I can break down every street in Colts Neck, but we can get, because you're interested in the study and of course everyone who lives on Montrose and have, being a kindred spirit on Bucks Mill, I'm with you. So, and I didn't forget, and I'd be remiss if I didn't, forget about the turtle signs down by the bridge because they're on Bucks Mill too, and they do get run, people, it's frivolous, but they get big and they could cause an accident if they're in the middle of the road and someone goes to swerve to miss one. So it is good to slow down for those big snapping turtles. So yes, I will reach out to the chief and we'll get you those monthly breakdowns. And we can explore them together.
Thank you, Committeeman.
Mayor. Regarding the traffic conditions on Montrose, besides the 85 percentile that the police department typically does their studies, Ms. Capriso, have we contacted our engineering firm for a potential traffic study? Because as we know that there's other reasons why a traffic speed limit should be lowered. It could be curvature of the road, elevation, number of driveways, and some other configurations that could assist with the police department's traffic study to get that further reduced. If you need additional information, you're welcome to contact me on that.
Thank you, Committeeman. Any other response? Does Mr. Ryan have any more time left?
I can't say. I'm sorry.
It's going to be short.
I resemble that remark.
Go ahead.
The 250th year of this great country. Tonight, we're sitting here on February 11th. Tomorrow is February 12th, Abraham Lincoln, our 16th president's birthday. In the old days, and I know that some of the people here in this crowd can remember when I was in grammar school, February 12th or February 22nd. Now they did the President's Day. All right, so I just want to just honor that for 250 years of this great country. I just thought it had to be said tonight. And I remember there used to be those sales. They used to have the sales in the paper and all that and everything. And I think back to sales. Should be sitting home honoring this guy or whatever. So that's my last words.
Thank
You see, Megan, I kept it short.
Thank you.
Mr. Quincannon. Another firefighter.
Hi, Chris Quincannon, 8 Spring Garden. How are you? I've been a firefighter for 35 years. I've lived in Colts Neck most of my, I don't need applause, all right? I've lived in Colts Neck most of my life. I went to all the schools. I grew up here. Many of you know me. I was at your house when the kid died in your front yard. I've seen it all. I've held every position in the fire department, from chief all the way down to firefighter. I've held every administrative position, so I know what I'm talking about. Scott Dupree's a good guy. He's a great wealth of knowledge, and what they did to him is a slap in the face to every citizen in Colts Neck. And you sit here like, oh, what do I do? The problem is the Executive Fire Council. That's what you can do. You as a committee can change the Executive Fire Council because, in my opinion, it's defunct. It's worthless. You have people that are not firefighters sitting on that committee that are making decisions for this town. You have people from don't even live in this town on that committee making decisions for this town. The EFC is governed by you. It's governed by the chapter 28. You can change that. And if we're going to fix the problems here, and there are problems because, yes, it's political, yes, but you have leadership that aren't even firefighters telling me what to do, who've never been in a building. And I know I've put Dan in a building. I've led structure fires and every kind of call before. And as a leader, I know what it takes to take somebody and put them in a building in a hazardous situation. And I'm terrified. I'm terrified that someone's going to get hurt under my watch. And I take that responsibility personally. And that last fire on Tanglewood where Scott was at, Dan was there, I sent him in. And I remember the smoke billowing out the front door and I said, this is bad. And God, I hope no one gets hurt. I know the severity of this situation. Not many people do. To tell someone to go into a hostile environment, you can't have people who are not firefighters leading this department. And yes, you as a committee can do something about that to change it. And it's in both companies, not just number one, not just number two, both of them. And that's how we're going to have to fix this. Another note, I've sent some of you texts. This is a whole nother subject. Firearms fees, just quadrupled them, I think, over the last year. You know, we're a pretty friendly town here. Maybe you could consider that. That would be great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I just jump in as EFC liaison? I appreciate, Chris, your insights and feedback, and a thank you for your service really isn't enough for all that you've done for the town. So a big thank you. And yes, obviously there are certain changes that need to be made. I do want to come back to the firearms fees. We were approached last year I think it was in the fall. And I actually went to our chief of police to ask him about these fees and the refunding back, looking at some of the towns that have done it. So we definitely pulled some research. When we have people who come in to get a permit, there's a fee that goes to the state, and then there's the fee that comes to the town. Our police department runs full background checks on people for these permits. Some can take an hour or two. Some people have very extensive histories that they have to go through. There is a pretty large cost to the municipality to run background checks. So I did gather a lot of that information. I'm happy to bring it back to the Township Committee. And if there's an interest in that, I personally, myself, from a cost standpoint, just personally am not in favor of it, simply because I do not want to, as a taxpayer, have to pay for other people. I see some people political standpoint. We all have our rights to bear arms. I don't think I should have to pay because someone else wants to get a permit. That's just my personal opinion, but I'm happy to bring back some of the breakdown of the costs that the chief, but it was brought to his attention to ask these questions. What do we have some of these fees for? So, and if this governing body is looking to entertain that, we can certainly do so.
I too spoke with the chief about the request and pretty much shared the same input that the cost varies on behalf of the department, how much time there is involved on their part to do the check. The fees have been increased dramatically as a means to keep firearms out of people's hands. That's the state's that's the state's objective. But as Committeewoman Buss said, we as individual taxpayers shouldn't be asked to bear that expense. It's an option. It's an optional request from a resident to seek a permit and a concealed carry permit. Those are their desires. They want to exercise their right. But I don't think that should be spread across the township.
But we should make sure that any fees that we do charge are not punitive or exclusionary, like the ones from the state. So yes, yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna make sure if it's for
Yeah, well-
the processing fee, but if it, yeah.
I
Well,
think
maybe it will
it's
be.
a good question that was brought up. And I'm sorry, Committeewoman. you want-
Just as the liaison to the police department, I'd be interested in seeing a report from the police department of how many they process a year, how many are denied, how many they're refunded. But as a Second Amendment right, I am supportive of reimbursing that fee.
Any other comments from the public? May I motion to close public comment?
Moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Next Township Committee meeting, in addition to next week's budget workshop at 4:30, will be on February 25th in this chamber at 7 p.m. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.
Thank you. Good evening.